I love the Joslyn Castle. There she is. It was built in 1903, nearly 20,000 square feet, and a landmark on the National Register of Historic Places.
The estate is 5.5 acres, plenty of room for what's happening on Sunday. As many as 100 cars, trucks, and motorcycles will be on display.
Kelsey Bougeot is here to tell us about a few of the classes you'll see. Good to see you, Kelsey.
Hi, welcome back.
Yes, not your seventh year here, but the 7th year for the car show.
Absolutely.
So what's the concept of this, though?
Sure. So our show is really unique to the Omaha area because what we're doing is hand selecting vehicles that are original or restored original. So it's not what you'll see, you know, at your everyday car show. These are truly unique vehicles. This is actually some video from last year. The DeLorean was kind of one of the highlights and a big draw for people at last year's show.
But we're ranging here, going back to cars from the 30s, the 60s. I mean, there's a broad range. Like some, you know, I went to a classic car show that was just a Mopar show. You know what I mean? So you knew what you were going to find there. What do you have this year as some of the folks who apply? Because it is part of this selection process. What are you excited for visitors to see this time around?
Well, this year we have about a dozen Model A vehicles, so that's pretty unique, not something that you'll see every day.
Yeah, the old ones.
And then we have a couple of special interest vehicles. One of my favorites, I mean, every car has a story, and one of my favorites from this year's show is a 1957 Chevy, which is not truly, you know, it's not something that you wouldn't see every day, but this particular vehicle was actually purchased back by the original owners at the Pierce auction that you probably heard about. Drew thousands of people. The owners, the Hicksons, had sold this vehicle to Lambrecht Chevy and then purchased it back and restored it. So that will be on display at this year's show. This is actually a 57 step-side pickup. So this isn't the vehicle. This is the 57 Chevy that will be on display this year.
How awesome.
And the owners will be there and can share their story.
My husband still has the car that he had in high school. And we're looking at the title and looking to see who he bought it from back in the day. I mean, all this stuff. But when it's part of your own story, it makes obviously, it's a very rich deal. Some of these other cars, tell us about them, Kelsey, if you would.
Sure. So this vehicle that we're looking at here in front of the castle is actually a 42 Dodge Deluxe convertible sedan.
I've never seen one before, I don't think.
And there's something about having the castle in the background in some of those pictures too. What's this?
There is. So this is one of the Model A's, I believe, that we'll have on display here this year. So just lots of variety. This is another Model A. This is really unique. I love this one.
Station wagon Model A.
Yeah, and this is actually, it's labeled as a taxi, which I think is pretty unique. Not something that you would see every day if you think about a taxi from back in the day.
But you said a dozen Model A's? I'm sorry, something like that?
Yeah, but I think you're right. The stories behind these cars, are there going to be people there, the owners there to tell these stories?
And the owners love to share, you know, their stories. We have a Barracuda that was in one of these pictures that we've been flipping through.
Do you know what
that
this
was
is?
restored by the original owner. Yes, this is actually 53 Chevrolet Corvette Roadster. So this is one of my favorites.
That car
I think
is totally
it's just
rad.
So
no windshield.
I know, it's just so different.
It looks spacey.
No, there's a windshield in there.
Was there?
Yeah,
I didn't see it. So, and yet again, some of the classics. But the cars, while we will ooh and ah all day long as we look at these pictures. But you have some other things going on that really make for a complete event and not just a regular car show, as you were saying.
Exactly. It's really a family-friendly event. So, you know, the kids can come out. We'll have a kids area. The first 200 kids will get a coloring book from PPG Paints, which is kind of nice. We'll have a clown, face painting, food trucks for people to sit down and enjoy a nice lunch, and then tastings inside for the adults from Brickway.
Yes, Brickway.
Beer and whiskey. So lots to do, and then of course tours of the castle.
And you can do all that once you get on the ground.
Absolutely.
You can take part in any of those things.
Yeah, and it's kind of a fundraiser. So I guess where does the money go?
It is, sure. It's all a benefit to reserve and preserve the Joslyn Castle. So all of the funds go to the Joslyn Castle Trust and benefit the preservation and the programs that the castle puts
What are
on.
some of the needs there?
Sure. So recently, the castle actually restored a piece of artwork that's on display down at the library, but they have a number of different programming events that they put on for the community every year. The Joslyn Castle Classic is one of them. There's also a literary festival that they put on, and a host of other different events throughout the year.
One of the cool things I recently read in the Omaha World Herald were these was it unlocked tours?
Yes, yeah.
Can you
and that was,
explain what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was kind of a unique tour, different than what we'll be doing at the show on Sunday, but that was actually a chance to see some of the Joslyn's personal effects, like furniture and different artifacts that they still have, things that aren't always on display at the castle.
And to go in the basement.
Absolutely.
I heard that they can go in the basement on those
and
tours.
that's
So those
not
are very
typically
rare
something
tours,
that you get
right.
to see. So.
Rare tours, but you're going to offer those once in a while.
Yes, so they'll be doing those again next year.
Let's circle back and remind our viewers about what's coming up. This fundraiser, if you want to see some of the cars and trucks and bikes that'll be on display, it's Sunday from 11 to 4 o'clock at Joslyn Castle, 39th and Davenport, which was West Omaha in 1903 when they built the castle. $10 in advance, so you'll save a couple of dollars. But if you don't get your tickets prior to Sunday, you can still pay at the gate. Just $12.50, and then online, more information at joslyncastle.com.
The Castle Car Classic. It's always a fun event. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for having
Good
me
to see
back.
you.
Today's July 19th.